morning, fam. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Pulamans, your inner voice magnified. I've been pondering on the issue of change is a process, so be kind to yourself. So I thought I should share that message with you because it has been deep in my heart. It has been deep in my soul. So I thought, you know what? If it's deep in my heart, maybe it will do something for you. I have said I've gone back to work, and the first month, guys, I was just not coping. First of all, it was the stress of being around people all the time. After 3 years of being sort of isolated, right? Because I wasn't working for 3 years, I was studying full time, and it was a period where now COVID 19 was at its highest. I mean, we were going into level fives, level fours, so we hardly saw people, or I hardly saw people rather, right? So the first month coming back to work, I was really struggling. I mean, I had forgotten all sorts of things that I had learned. I remember sharing that, you know what, even in the chaos, just find peace somehow, right? So I've been really going through that change, and I realized that the first month was really chaotic. I mean, I wasn't getting used to being around people all the time. I wasn't getting used to the stresses of work. I wasn't getting used to waking up every day and being somewhere and working the whole day until late in the afternoon, right? Because sometimes at home, when it's that day where you're feeling tired, I'll just rest and not do anything. But now I'm at work, I don't have a choice. Whether I'm tired or not, whether I want to be there or not, I have to show up and I have to be there full force, right? So I was just not getting used to all the environment and just getting used to the people and how people are, guys. You know what? Just sitting and looking at people, I tell you, you will learn a lot of things. So I wasn't just getting used to them, to the environment that I was being served. But as the months are going by, I realize that, guys, change is a process. So we need to always be kind to ourselves. I remember some time during June, that was 1.5 months of me being back at work. I started coming down. I started going back to these videos that I do for you on a weekly basis now. I mean, guys, I was binging on these videos because I tell you, the reason why I do such videos every week or right now whenever I can, it's because I actually have revelations from God, right? God would be talking to me about something, and then I decide to make a video of it. So when I felt like I was floating, when I felt like everything was just chaotic in my life, I went back and listened to these videos. I mean, really binged on them until I remembered my famous words: your peace, your responsibility. And it was when I started reminding myself of all these lessons that I've been teaching you through listening to these videos that I started coming down. I started now remembering that it is important to accept people for who they are. I started reminding myself, I mean, change is a process and I need to be kind to myself. The things that I was able to do in one season of my life, when change occurs, I might not be able to do those things during that a period of transition. But when I start becoming kind to myself, then I realize that, you know what, it's not a train smash. Do whatever it is that you can do in the period of transition, and whatever else you can do, just trust the process. Trust that God is in control either way. Even when you're feeling like you're floating, especially when you're feeling like you're floating, that's when God is at work work in you, right? Because we can be so addicted to being in control that we forget that actually the author and the director of our lives is actually God himself. So in those moments when you're feeling like it is chaotic, I tell you, be kind to yourself. Trust the process. Trust that God is still in control, even in the midst of chaos. So I was just thinking about, how now things are starting to settle down, right? I'm starting to get used to the environment that I'm in. I'm starting to get used to people being around me all the time and the energies that they bring in my space. And right now, I'm reminding myself again, to protect my energy. I pray all the time when I get into the workspace that God, please protect my energy. I pray that God, please shut me up. Guys, I can talk. That is a talent, a God given talent. So I need to remind myself sometimes that it's not always important for me to have an opinion. Joyce Meyer always says, where you don't have responsibility, you don't have to have an opinion. So I have to remind myself of these things. So the point of the matter for today is that change is a process, guys. When I started earlier on in May, I was, all over the place. I just didn't know who I am. I felt like I was floating. But now it has been almost 3 months of being back, and I feel like I'm now back to my senses. I've just reminded myself that, working with people, the first thing that I need to do is to accept people for who they are. As much as I would like people to accept me with everything that I am, I need to also give the same courtesy to the people around me. And that has given me so much peace, because now I don't judge people according to my standards. I accept who they show me they are, and I believe it, and I run with that character that they have given me. So that gives me so much peace. Now I don't have to control everyone. Now I don't have to want people to act in a certain way. And immediately when you let go of control, immediately when you let God do the work in you, then you start realizing that you gain a lot of peace than when you're trying to control people, you're trying to control situation. I mean, there's so many things that we want to control. You need to be kind to yourself. Change won't happen in a flash. Change is a process. 5 years from now, when you start working on one thing, and then next year you work on the second thing, if it's a good year, you work on two things, you realize that 5 years from now, you will be a completely different man. You will be a completely different woman, because you took time to change. You realize that change is a process. And that's how all the successful people do it. They don't get it right all the time, but when they realize that they are going off the rails, they come back and they start again. The one thing that I never understood, but now I'm really getting to understand, was when I heard Jim Rohn saying his mentor, Mr. L. Schoff, had said to him, you need to know the reason why you want to become a millionaire. Because he says, in the process of getting R1 million in your bank account, you start becoming a different person, the kind of person that even if you lose the money, you will be able to get again. I never used to understand it, but now that I was getting back to life at work, I started remembering that actually what Jim Rohn was saying was so important. Now I realize that I had lost it completely. I lost my peace. I just didn't know where I was in terms of my sanity. But because I've learned the lessons, I've become a person who's able to, in the midst of chaos, locate my peace. So some of these things you learn and you will lose along the way. But because of the person you become as a result of learning these things, then you are able to bring yourself towards yourself so that you become a peaceful individual again. Guys, please take care of yourselves. Please realize that you will change and you will change for the better. That person that you're yearning to become, you will become. Just go easy on yourself. Change is a process, so be kind to yourself. I am Pulamons, your inner peace and purpose coach. Guys, don't forget to do the right thing. Subscribe to my channel, and for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you'll find the content on this platform worthy enough for you to subscribe. And for those of you who've been with me for a while, thank you. Peace.